Hi, I'm Karen Singville. Today I'm going to teach you how to make Lofthouse sugar cookies. Now, this is not an original recipe that I got made up myself. I went and got it off the internet, but I've never made these, but we're going to do it together. So I've got a little bit of butter out and I've got my eggs. It says I need flour, baking powder, salt, and I'll put this recipe below the video, so don't worry about that. Sugar, eggs, sour cream, and some vanilla extract. So I gotta grab the sour cream and a couple other things. And I'm gonna get some sprinkles because we're gonna use sprinkles. Now, in a medium bowl, combine the cake flour, the baking powder, and the salt and set aside. I gotta grab the salt. So you're gonna see I'm not the conventional baker. I don't do it like that at all. Let's get to the part where I'm supposed to have the butter melted down. So I'm supposed to cream together the butter and the sugar. How much butter? You're gonna learn quickly that I don't really measure anything, and that's why baking is not hard. People think it's hard, but it's definitely not hard. So on the stick, like if you buy the cubes like this, a stick is probably about that much. That's one stick. And you can see this is my own kitchen. It's not a commercial kitchen. I'm not some commercial baker. I'm just a mom who likes to bake. So hold on. So I'm gonna melt that down, 35 seconds. The dogs are probably gonna start barking because I see someone coming up the driveway. Told you, they're my doorbell. So while I'm melting that down, it says I need a cup of sugar. So I do use a measuring for the sugar. Cup of sugar, butter's getting melted down. Now, somebody said online when I was looking for this, something about, oh, sorry. Okay, so we got most of our ingredients out. Now, I've melted down the butter in the microwave at about 35 seconds. Now I need to cream that with the butter. So I have a KitchenAid. I throw in the sugar, throw in the butter. Scoop it out. A little bit of butter. Turn this on. Oh, I don't have it plugged in, duh, sorry. I'm gonna let that cream. I'm gonna go ahead and see what else I need to add. So I need to add vanilla, sugar, my eggs. So I'm gonna take my 2 eggs out here and crack those straight into the bowl. Now, if you're not that good at cracking eggs, maybe you don't wanna do that way, but that's the way I do it. Don't let the shell fall out. Second egg in. Okay, so that's all creaming together. Then I need vanilla, which is 1 teaspoon, which I go like this because I love vanilla. So I actually probably put 2 and I just dump it in. But again, you can measure it if you don't feel comfortable. I got my salt. It says I need a ½ teaspoon. Now again, I bake a lot, so I know a ½ teaspoon. That's probably too much right there. So I go like this. Dump some out in the sink, throw some in, and that's enough, because you don't need that much salt. 2 tablespoons of sour cream. Now, I take the same spoon that I used before with the sour cream, rinse it off though. And stir up the sour cream, and I use, as you can see, fat-free. I'm going to save those calories for extra cookies. Lopping 2 big tablespoons. Again, wash off my spoon because I'm going to keep using that spoon. Now this stuff I can just set out of the way for now. I don't need to put everything up right now. Now, remember how I told you it says to put all that separate stuff? It wants the flour, the baking powder, and the salt separately. Well, you already saw me throw in the salt. Now I'm going to throw in the baking powder. Now again, it says right here 3 teaspoons. So I guess we're expecting it to rise. 1, 2, 3. Flour, 3 cups of cake flour. Now again, I'm not using cake flour, I'm using regular flour. 1, 2, because this is a 2 cup, so there's 2 cups in there now, and I'll add a 3rd cup. And yeah, it's pretty close. Like, you know, baking is simple. People make it a lot more difficult. So right now, with that electric mixer, I'm mixing everything together, and then it says I have to chill the dough for at least 1 hour. Now, I've never made this recipe, but I have another really simple sugar cookie recipe that I will make on a different video and show you. You can make them just like that. If I had known I had to chill these, I probably wouldn't have made them. Okay, so I'm gonna let that finish mixing, and I'll see you back after the dough's chilled. Okay, I'm back. The dough is chilled, so it's been 45 minutes, even though it said an hour. Yeah, whatever. So it says preheat the oven to 350, so we know how to do that. I'm going to set them both, upper and lower. Okay, so we got 2 ovens, and now we're going to get our cookie sheets, and it also says parchment paper. So, parchment paper and cookie sheets. So, parchment paper. Now, honestly, if you don't have parchment paper, don't worry about it. You don't really need parchment paper. Again, so parchment paper's on here. The other one, you could use like cooking spray if you wanted to, like Pam. Okay, now, I think this wants us to roll this out and make those little cookie cutter things, which honestly we could if we wanted to. I don't really want to though. So it says roll 3 tablespoons of dough into a bowl. Use flour in your hands if needed. Place ball on baking sheet and flatten to about a half-inch molding sides to keep round shape if necessary. So we're gonna go like this. Put it in a bowl. Ball. Oh, so okay, though that's what I want to do. I just want to make them in balls and flatten them out, because I'm going to frost these and make those ones. Like, that's originally the ones I saw, is like it said from Walmart, which I didn't even, and I shop at Walmart, but I didn't know they made cookies that were any good. But that's because I bake all my cookies, as you can see. So you see what it looks like? So I'm going to do this on the whole thing. Put them in a ball and then smash them down. So you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing, right? And you can make them bigger or smaller or whatever. And it is getting kind of sticky, so I can see that's why they're saying use flour if necessary, because your hands will start to get sticky. And if you have a question, you can just email me or text me, whatever you want to do. Leave me a message on my YouTube channel and I'll call you back, or I'll email you, and let's have happy fun baking. Okay, so there we go. We've got a whole pan done. So that's the 10-minute buzzer right there. We set it for 2 extra minutes, but we're just going to look at them and see what we think. Now, if they've risen properly, remember the recipe says 10 to 12 minutes, do not overbake, so we really don't want to overbake them, because then we'll run them and that smell so delicious. Oh! By looking at them, and again, I bake a lot, I would say it's okay to let them go the extra 2 minutes. Now, I do have another batch, which the lower oven took a little bit longer to heat up, in there as well. So I do want to make sure that the timing on both of them, I don't overbake one and underbake the other. And I didn't set 2 different timers because again, that's kind of the way I do things. So I got a rack out because it says a cooling rack, and my spatula. And once they come out of the oven, we're going to just let them sit there for about 1 minute. We're gonna put them off on the wire rack, and then once they're cooled, that's when we're gonna frost them. We don't wanna frost them hot because the frosting will be everywhere and make a huge mess. Still would taste great, but wouldn't be so good for our cookies cleanup and our kitchen mess. So here's what they look like. Pretty good. I'm just gonna set them here, let them cool, and then I'll take them off and put them on my wire rack, okay? After I take this other batch out and leave them sit there for, you know, a few minutes, go answer some email or do something downstairs and then come back. I'm kind of disappointed that this is only 24 cookies. And of course you can see, like, they're a little bit mix match the sizes that I made. You can see here, I've got some bigger, rounder, smaller. I could probably have made 36 had I made them this size as opposed to this size. And that's probably really a double cookie. So let's see what the bottom of one of these looks like. Oh, they're looking good. Oh, they're a heavy cookie, I can tell that. Oh, they do smell pretty darn good, I'm telling you that too. So we got our wire rack. We're gonna let these cool. Now you don't have to, if you don't have a wire rack, don't worry about using a wire rack, just put them on a plate. But don't put them on top of each other, right? Because we're gonna frost them. Oh my gosh, these smell so delicious. I've got a teenager in there sleeping. I wonder if he'll smell them. I know that if my husband was here, he'd be up here. And because I'm the baker, I get to test them out. Now that right now is the 10 minutes. And I'll reset it for 2 more minutes, because I am going to let it cook the full 12 minutes. Now, one thing I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of move the pan around in the oven. That's just something sometimes that the back of an oven will be hotter than the front of the oven, so I just rotate it to finish the cooking off. But you'll know what works for you, and it's trial and error. And let me tell you something, I am so dying to try one of these that I'm going to try it now. Oh my God, they're really good. Now remember that frosting? Sorry, talking with my mouth full. Now the frosting has really hardened up. It's really hardened up, you see? Now look at that. Isn't that delicious? Put this on here. Oh, the cookie's still warm. Remember I told you you're not supposed to do this when it's warm because it'll melt, but I love it. And I'm the baker. Oh my gosh. So good. Absolutely to die for. To die for. Remember the sprinkles? There you go. Delicious. Oh my gosh, so good. Lofthouse sugar cookies, awesome. I can't stop eating these. They are so good. To die for. So good. Oh my gosh, so good.